For Moto GP here in 2011. We've already had Qatar, we've had Jerez, the Spanish Grand Prix. Now we move west to Portugal at this circuit of Estoril. Casey Stoner, he's out for revenge after Valentino Rossi knocked him off last time out in Jerez.
Can we go back to something Neil said a moment ago about fuel economy, with which I agree with you totally, but the gearbox is also for fuel economy. Of course, when this was the hot topic in Qatar, people were talking about its saving lap time being worth, well, Rossi said, half a second.
Yeah, I mean, to actually understand how the gearbox works, you need some diagrams, and there'll be an article in a few weeks in the UK on that. But what you have to understand is we are slamming from third gear to fourth gear. There is a change in RPM of 1,000 RPM. Whatever mechanism you use to let you do that, that's going to cause a humongous great jerk. And it's how you manage that jerk that makes the difference. What Honda are doing is trying to use the crankshaft inertia. You've accelerated it up to a certain RPM.
The momentum you have created
within the crankshaft. So you've revved up to, let's say, 18,000. You change gear, it drops back to 17.
So that is effectively a little chunk of petrol you have wasted if you allow that to happen.
Correct. And they are trying to grab it and move the bike forward without losing the benefit of that fuel. There are several companies that make different designs of gearbox, but with the same aim. A company called Zeroshift in Milton Keynes makes one that is going into several cars that will be out in the next year or so. Their calculations say that you can get the same acceleration with 7% less throttle if you have a seamless shift gearbox that's working properly. And that is why this Honda has got this gearbox. They're saving fuel on acceleration so they can get it for the horsepower later on.
That is a remarkably large number, 7%.
Of throttle. It's only on acceleration, so you're not talking about 7% improvement in fuel consumption, but you are nevertheless, you're probably talking a couple of percent on fuel consumption.
So we're going to have an extra cup full of petrol at the end of the race.
Yep. All the strategies Honda are following follow one common cause: save fuel and make it available to make power.
You mentioned the Zeroshift company in Milton Keynes, who are very successful and path leaders, as far as I can see, in this technology, not just for bikes, by the way, for cars, buses, trucks and anything.
I was out in the Jaguar they've got equipped with a gearbox like this. An amazing feeling. You just press a button and the thing carries on. There's no movement. You don't feel anything.
There's yes, I looked at their website. They have a demo of said car with and without Zeroshift, and a glass of water on the dashboard. The Zeroshift gearbox, if I understand it correctly, retains conventional components such as a selector drum and forks.
Jorge Lorenzo comes to his pole position here.